What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 25th episode of the Climb Together podcast. I'm your host, Tonage, here with my co-host, Deception the Rapper. Deception, say hi.
What's up?
What's up? We have a lot to talk about today. It is
it's gonna be fun.
It's May 11th, 2022, and a lot has gone down in the past, week since we did the podcast last week. And pertaining to a lot of different things. I've been listening to a couple other gaming podcasts while I drive to work, so I'm trying to, stay in the loop of what's going on.
I mean, something's happened basically every day since we had
literally.
the podcast.
We've got a bunch of stuff to talk about. I'm gonna take a little time to shout out my girlfriend Riz, who's in the chat right now. Hi Riz, I love you so much. You're amazing and beautiful. Okay, sorry about that. Continuing. I had coffee right before this, and I'm getting my coffee high as we speak. So caffeine is in my system, and I formally apologize beforehand for my level of energy today.
It's going to be an energetic podcast.
It is definitely going to be an energetic podcast. I am hyped. I am a new person today. Anyway.
It's the 25th episode, too.
Yes. It is the 25th episode, and Riz, please do not sob. Please. What is that?
Now Riz is going to gift you like 10 subs because you said that.
She needs to save her damn money. Save your money.
Well, I mean, she's giving you money, which it just keeps the money circulating.
I know, but then some of the money goes to Twitch. Most of it goes.
Yeah, but it keeps Twitch running.
Anyway.
Like Twitch needs any more money.
I know, literally. Anyway, as I was saying, we got a lot to talk about. Quick little thing. If you guys are listening to this live right now, we appreciate you. I don't like her that much. I have a college to attend to. I know, I'm attending the same one. You're
gonna get carried.
Oh, yeah. So just a quick thing. If you guys are listening post-recording, which is, we record this live every Wednesday at 12 p.m. EST over on twitch.tv/Tonage_Scorp and /Deception the Rapper. So if you guys want to tune in live and ask some questions or just chat and vibe with us and get involved in the conversation, come catch us over on Twitch every Wednesday, man. And if you guys are listening to this, we have it on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you consume your podcast, because there's a lot of apps and websites that you can get your podcast at that we had no idea about, but now we do. So, and I'm getting caught up on posting episodes. It's just kind of like a process because I have to listen to all of them because I have a really bad memory and I can't just be like, oh, we talk about this podcast, and yeah.
Only you had my memory.
Only if. Anyway, we have a lot to talk about. Let's go ahead and start probably one of the biggest things that has happened this past week. Deception, I'll let you.
I mean, there's a lot of big things that have happened this week.
Well, okay, so let's first, do you want to save about what you wanted to bring up on the podcast that you have not told me yet? Do you want to save that for right now, or do you want to save it for later?
When do you want to hear it?
I want to hear it yesterday. So, because I was texting him, he's like, well, I got something to tell you on the podcast tomorrow. I'm like, why can't you just tell me right now? He goes, because tomorrow's podcast day. And I said, no, tell me now. And he said, no. So, Deception, what is it?
I can finally say that multiple times over the past few months that I have been playing XDefiant.
XDefiant.
I really like the game. The game is really fun.
Can you explain to us what XDefiant is, like what kind of game, and what gave you the opportunity to tell us today?
XDefiant, well, the opportunity presented itself because Wyatt showed me that in the new NDA that you can talk about it, you just can't stream it or anything. So we can talk about it now. I can say that I played it, and I can talk about my experiences on the game. XDefiant is a shooter game that has been created by the same company that has made games like Rainbow Six Siege and The Division, all the Tom Clancy's games. But now they're making a completely new game that's not like any of those games called XDefiant, and they've been working with the new studio head, which is Mark Lumia, who worked on Modern Warfare 3 and Ghosts. He made all that this fantastic fish AI in Ghosts, but he's creating this game, and they've been working on it for a while. I first got to play it back in August when we could sign up for the pre-alpha. So it's been a thing for a while. Even in pre-alpha, it was a really fun game. Me and Wyatt played it. Like we literally like took days off of streaming to play it because it was really fun. Um, and we would have streamed it if we could have streamed it, but you know,
You
it's
know,
private information. It's a game that's not out yet, so it's a work in progress. There's definitely things that they had to work on, but the game was really fun. The gameplay was super fun. The guns felt good. The maps were good. The modes were good, and like recently I've been able to play it again because it's went into beta, and there's been more insiders come in who have been able to play it. Me and Wyatt are actually playing it on Friday. Luckily, it's not during my regular stream time, so I can stream on Friday. But we're playing it on Friday. I think the session is like 3 hours, whereas like the thing that's weird is like this beta is like every so often we'll get to play it for like 3 hours. But when the pre-alpha was out, we played it for like 2.5, 3 weeks, and we could play it whenever. Like it was just up, and we could play it.
mm,
Um, but I mean, it's even since pre-alpha, I can notice the difference playing the beta. I think the beta is like even better than the pre-alpha. And I like the direction where the game's going, and I really hope that this game releases soon, or we at least can stream it soon, because I would love to like show people how this game is, because it's actually really fun.
so can you talk to us about like is there like different like operators or
Yeah, the operators
characters?
are like a combination of like BO3 and BO4 style specialists. Like
Okay.
it's a modern setting for the game, but they're like BO3, BO4 specialist type operators that have passive and active abilities. And they have multiple for each operator, so you don't just have one operator that has these set abilities. Um, but there's four different like factions. I can't really remember the names off the top of my head, but like one of them is like an assault faction where they use like assault weapons, like there's like fire drones and stuff like that. There's one that's like a medic that has like active camo. There's one that's very defensive that has stuff like shields, and it has this thing where uh you basically just put a bubble up around you where you have full health, and you have like a minigun. And it's like really hard. Like you have to shoot through the bubble before you can actually shoot the guy.
Okay, so it's kind of
Um,
like so it's moved from alpha testing into beta testing, right? Now it's
we
in.
didn't even play it in alpha.
You
We
guys didn't
played it
play it
in
in alpha.
pre-alpha.
You guys played it in pre-alpha,
Yeah, we played
and
it in like I
I
think
remember you
that
telling me
when we
about it.
played it, it was like one of the earliest forms of the game.
Yeah. So you guys were pretty much pre-alpha testers, so you guys were just testing the game. I remember you guys telling me about it, and like you'd be like, "Well, should don't say anything," and I haven't said anything. Well, I just did, but I don't know, whatever.
I mean,
But
now we can talk about
yeah, so like pretty much
it.
what the game is, it's like you have so from what Deception is saying, I haven't played it, because I just don't have time. As much as I'd like to say it, I just don't have time.
We could have sent you an invite.
Yeah, you could have, but here we are. Anyway, so pretty much it's like it's a game, and you can pretty much pick different roles is what I'm getting at. You can have like a support role or
There's
a
like multiple
uh
operators per faction, but the
yeah.
factions basically serve the same purpose for each operator.
What's the faction? Like is it just like a team or is it different like
It's like if you've ever played like hero shooter games, it's like there's just a set few operators that have the same purpose. Like there's a
okay.
couple like really assault operators, there's a couple medics, there's a couple like defensive operators and stuff like that. Um
Mhm.
and it's just like they're all like under a faction where they basically serve the same purpose. It's just they can have different abilities
Okay.
and stuff. Um but it's really fun like
So it's like a
uh
faction of like healers. Is that kind of what it is?
yeah, it's
Okay.
like that.
Okay, okay,
Uh,
okay.
and it's a really fun game. I mean, and they've tweaked a lot of stuff since alpha. Like I saw that in pre-alpha, like when we were playing it first, like you got your abilities kind of quick, and it just felt like sometimes it was just who can use their abilities better during the game,
Mm-hmm.
and it felt like it took away from the actual first-person shooter gameplay and the gunfights. But now, since I've been playing it in beta, they have seriously slowed down the abilities times and stuff. So you really have to be strategic with your abilities now, rather than, oh, we all have our abilities, let's all pop them at the same time.
So is it kind of similar to like Valorant, where you kind of have to have like a recharge on your abilities
Yeah,
over
and
like
you
certain
only get
rounds?
them like every so often. Like we'll
Okay.
play a game of domination and we might get it twice. If we're doing good, we'll get it twice. We
Okay.
usually only get it once.
Okay, so you really do have to be like very strategic, kind of like kill streaks and stuff like that. Like it just depends on how good you're playing.
And that's another thing about the game. I don't know if they're gonna add those in. I don't know if they have plans to or if they're not. But there are no kill streaks, so it's completely dependent on gunfights and your abilities, which is pretty fun.
I like that. That's a pretty. Do you think it's gonna be like a successful game once it like fully releases, or?
I sure hope so. I'm gonna do my best to promote it as long as it keeps being a good game, because right now it's a really fun game. Uh, I mean, obviously, who knows what it's going to look like when it comes out? Who
Yeah.
knows even when it comes out? They haven't even put a release date out. I would assume maybe end of this year, maybe early next year. But uh,
I mean, they want to make the game as good as
I
they
mean, if it's
possibly
still a
can.
really
So.
good game leading up to release, I'm going to play the heck out of it and I'm going to promote it because it's really, really fun. Um,
Yeah.
it's
So.
that, I mean, honestly, like doing this with XDefiant was the first time I have ever had a chance to play a game like that and be like an exclusive, type person when playing a game. And like this is a really like I like this game a lot.
Here, I pulled it up on the in the Googles. So insider sessions is what they have right now.
Yeah, that's
Obviously,
what we're
but.
doing right now. You can sign up for them. They're accepting more insiders,
Mm-hmm.
and you just have certain sessions every so often. You got to sign an NDA, but
Yeah.
usually about every Friday they do a session. And it's like 3 hours. I hope eventually they do like a closed beta where you can just play it whenever, or maybe even an open beta.
Yeah, like
I'm
all
sure they
the
will, but right now it's just the beta is just insider sessions and they're only like 3 hours at a time.
yeah, like the information that we're getting right now. It's an Ubisoft game. So if
Yeah.
you guys ever played Ubisoft game before, it's from the same developing company. It says
It's from the same
XDefiant.
people that made the Tom Clancy's games. So,
Yeah,
if you played like Rainbow Six or like The Division, like that it's the same type of company,
yeah. So
but
pretty
it's a
much
very different game.
their description of it is XDefiant is a free to play, fast paced arena shooter that combines intense gunplay with personalized loadouts and specialized factions as teams or gunfighters battle for domination. So I mean, it seems like it's like a pretty vague. The description that they have is pretty vague, but like I feel like with Deception's
Well, I know they
expertise.
have a trailer for it and they outlined it a little bit in the trailer. It's basically like a lot of the places like in the game are based on like that there was a war in America and it's like post-war America is basically what it
Ah,
is. 'Cause there's like a lot of maps where it's like set in Washington D.C. or in New York City, but it's like all rubbly and there's stuff everywhere. But like it's basically almost like a post-apocalyptic, post-war type America. Uh, is what the setting is sort of for the game, but it's really nice. Like the especially like with the colors, like the all the colors in the game are very like vibrant and punchy, and it definitely is a very satisfying game to look at and play.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's it doesn't really have a release schedule right now, but hopefully we'll get a little bit more information from Ubisoft themselves about the game, and we can talk a little bit more. But I want to move on to the next topic that I think a lot of people either don't really, because I'm gonna say this, like the Faze1 recruitment challenge happened and kind of came and went a little bit. Like it wasn't really like super, like it was big and then it kind of just like, okay, went away, and then it was big again, and then it went away, and then now it's big again. And so pretty much what we have there's a lot of stuff that's happened with it in the past week, has to do with COVID. A lot of the contestants have tested positive.
There were like
And
5 of them, I
yes,
think. At least from what
Um,
we know now.
there was a lot of them that tested positive for COVID, so they were disqualified from the competition because they were tested positive for COVID, and I think that kind of, kind of messed with the integrity of it a little bit, because who knows, if they hadn't gotten COVID, could they have won? And it was like, like it really wouldn't have been a good look for Faze themselves. And I like the idea that they have, but with COVID ramping up again, like I feel like it's kind of not the best idea. But so what they're doing, they put out a post. What was it? Last night, maybe? Was it last night?
I don't know. You sent it to me this morning, so I don't
Okay,
know when
yeah.
they
So
posted it.
actually, it was 9 hours ago, and I'll just go ahead and read this for you. Faze1, the warehouse, right? We just got word that another contestant tested positive for COVID-19, and with that news, we've decided to halt production and pause our Faze1 live stream. We have taken extensive safety measures throughout this competition, and the health and the safety of the cast and crew remain our top priority. The integrity of the competition is also of paramount and important to us, and we are able to and when we are able to safely resume, all 22 contestants will have the opportunity to participate. Thank you to everyone for tuning in and supporting Faze1. We will be back with an update soon. So with all of that happening, like I feel like from what I've seen on Twitter, like Potter, if you guys don't know who Potter is, he is a Call of Duty
Dude,
trick
Potter's crazy.
he's a trick shotter.
That guy
And
is fantastic. I would say that for a lot of people, he was a favorite going into Faze1.
oh yeah, like I feel like definitely like he's one of my favorites. Like out of the top 20, I know who he is. He competed last year and made it pretty far. And I feel like he's probably a high favorite. And I believe he tested positive with COVID and got disqualified. But I feel like a lot of his community itself, like they want him. They're like, hey, Faze Potter, hashtag Faze Potter. You know what I mean? And even me
I
personally, I'm
mean,
like, like
he's really like since the last Phase 5, he's become one of the biggest people that's not in Phase that
yeah,
people want to see.
in Faze, yeah. So I feel like once that happened, a lot of people had a big uproar. His community, just to get him back in, or something, because it really isn't fair. I mean, COVID is something that is one thing that people really can't control right now. It's a you can take all the safety measures in the world, but doesn't mean people aren't gonna get it. And
Yeah,
it's a very spreadable thing, as we have all learned.
it's as
So
spreadable as soft butter on bread.
oh yeah. So that's a good comparison. Thank you, Deception. I appreciate it. That was a really good comparison. Um but so I mean, I'm glad that they're, taking that into consideration. It is a good idea, like the warehouse aspect of the Faze1 competition. I feel like I haven't really watched most of it. What about you, Deception? Have you watched some of it? Or
I mean, I've watched some of it, but I don't know if it's because I'm not in the loop or whatever, but I feel like when I watch that live stream, I really don't understand what's happening. It looks like a reality show.
that's pretty much what it is. That's what they described it as. They described it as
Like
a
I watch it,
reality
I
show.
tune into the live stream and I just see a couple girls and a couple guys sitting on a couch talking, and I'm like, what is happening right now?
Yeah. I tuned in once and they were all sleeping, because I can only tune in before and after work, and before work is really the only time I feel like it. So I went on Twitch and I was watching, and they were all sleeping still. So, yeah.
I think that's really cool though. Like I think like if I watched it more and I understood it more, I would really be intently watching because it does seem like a reality show type thing, and it does seem like it's really cool.
Yeah, I feel like their idea is definitely like one of the better. It's definitely revolutionary for gaming itself.
I mean,
In that aspect.
basically, like if you want to like draw a good comparison for like esports people of like what the warehouse is like, it's
Mm-hmm.
like imagine if Hector put up a camera in the hex quarters and just
Just
let it
let it
stream all
go.
day.
Yeah, just like 24/7. I feel like that would um I feel like that would be I don't know. I feel like I'd want to see the hex quarters more than the Faze1 contestants, but I am an Optic fan at heart, and I love the guys, and Optic and whatnot. So
I mean,
I
I
just feel like
really
they're
think that he should
entertaining.
do it. I don't know if he'll ever do it. It's like that whole thing is like the Nade Shot Scump fight video. It's like, is he ever gonna post it? I don't know.
But he has it.
I
Like
mean,
I
he
can.
says he said that he wants to, but it's like such a sketchy thing to think about. But I mean, I I would love to see this Faze1 top 20 the warehouse thing actually work, but like right now it
Right
just
now it's
doesn't
just
seem like it's feasible.
well, it's not even just like the idea itself, like COVID aside, like I feel like it would be it would succeed, right? Like it was really cool. Like when they said it, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like that's actually really sick. And it'll be like it gives them a little bit more like real life competition and not just like over Discord calls and stuff like that and just content itself. It's like because that's kind of like how Phase is as as an organization. It's a lot of like IRL content is what they put out is like on the main Phase channel and just like a lot of their creators are IRL creators now. They've kind of like moved forward um and built off the gaming, and they do a lot of vlogs and a lot of like IRL challenges and stuff like that with the team, like with the org and everything. So I feel like it does represent, it does make it easier for them to pick someone, that'll fit the Phase clan mantra, right? But just with everyone being like so many people being disqualified for having COVID, like it's just it's not as fair as it was when it came to Phase 5 because whether you had COVID or not, you could still participate. You know what I mean? You only moved on based off of your content, right? So.
Yeah, it wasn't IRL obviously, so I mean, you don't risk
Yeah.
uh getting other people sick and just causing the whole thing to blow up. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I hope that at some point they can restart this, and I really hope that they just straight up start it from scratch and just don't look at what happened before.
Mhm.
Because it would be like a clean slate. It's like nothing happened,
Like a
and
reset on the. I mean, they're gonna have to, some of the challenges that they've done. They're gonna have to think them so they're not the same exact thing, because then people can
yeah, it's true.
cheat and whatnot. But anyway, that's that. So good luck to everyone that's in the top 20 two. All 22 people are back to
Yeah,
participate.
I
So
didn't understand that either. I was like 22. I thought it was
okay, I thought
20.
it was 20. Yeah, but anyway, so good luck to all the contestants in the Phase 1 warehouse. Personally, I'm rooting for Potter or any of the Oh, there's another one. What's her name? I think it's like Pink Sakura or something like that. I think she would be really great too. Face, but I'm just but yeah, if you guys don't know Potter, the man's is insane. Check him out. He's done some really cool trick shots. He's done an underwater trick shot. He's done an underwater trick shot in the ocean. I just saw that he did a frisbee trick shot. That came up on my page today. Man's is insane. And super creative. He's keeping the trick shotting community alive, and I love that his profile picture is like a really like fancy picture of him in like a suit and tie. I think that just kind of cracks me up a little bit.
Yeah, that's really nice. I like that.
Yeah, the man's is literally a gamer, and he's got like a professional true done.
Well, when you look at like the gamer type thing, but he's got a suit and tie, it makes me think about Hilton, who used to be a coach for like multiple COD teams. Like every other coach would just show up in like pajamas or show up in like a jersey or like a a sweatshirt or something, and Hilton would show up in a suit and tie and all that, and
Hmm.
he just looks so out of place at events.
Yeah, but when it's the people that it's the people that don't look like they're supposed to be there that catch your eye. So I mean, I guess uh all
I
that
mean, if
stuff.
it
So.
works, it works.
But yeah, so that's pretty much all that's taking over my page right now is the Phase 1 stuff. So,
Yeah,
um,
Faze1 is kind of wild. Probably because you follow Faze 2. I don't really follow a whole bunch of people in Faze, so I don't see a lot of this stuff.
no, it's just like,
Unless it's like Jake Lucky posting stuff about it, because he posts about anything.
yeah. So I'm pretty sure a lot of like there was I don't know. I don't know. Oh, another great news. Faze Simp is engaged to
Yeah.
his lovely girlfriend. Um, so congrats, Simp.
Yeah,
I'm so
hopefully he
hopeful.
can get engaged in the game.
Yeah,
And they can
literally.
stop getting beaten by Optic that had General on the team.
Ooh, damn. And yeah, they still have General on the team, right? Like Illy's still kind of out for
Well,
a while, right?
Illy is still out. I'm pretty sure he's out for Friday. Um, he might be out for this entire weekend, but I know he's definitely out for their match on Friday.
Mhm.
But right now, uh, it actually is looking like General is gonna go back to the bench, and Optic is gonna pick up Prolute instead, because I believe they think that Prolute will fill Illy's role a little bit better.
Mhm.
But we'll see what happens. Like I said, I think he's out for Friday. I don't know if he's out for the entire weekend. I know they have a match on Friday and Sunday, I think. So we'll see.
Yep. Oh man, this is, you know.
But I mean, if you want to stay on CDL, what about the Pro Am?
Alrighty, tell us about the pro am because I really didn't watch it. So surprising, I know.
Man. Oh, a different team winning every major.
Yeah,
It's looking like it's possible.
I like it.
Optic wins Major 1,
Mhm.
LAG wins Major 2. Doesn't really truly count as an event, but New York won the Pro-Am.
Yeah, New York bouncing back. We'd love to see it. I'm ready for those tickets to go on sale for the NYSL home major because your girl wants to go. I want to go and enjoy it. Exception, are you gonna go? I think you should go.
I don't know. I would really love to, but I don't know if I'll get to or not.
I think you
Um,
should. Because a lot of people are going, and a lot of people. Um, I want lots of people to go. I want to meet. I want to meet some more, of the homies, in person. I've met one, and that's Kichi W. Um, did I
yeah, but
ever
that
like,
one was arguably one of the best ones.
dude? Did I
I
ever like fully like tell the story on the podcast about that, or
think you did,
oh
but it was like forever ago. It was like right after you met her.
yeah? So Kichi, she was headed up to visit another one of our gaming friends, Lighty, and Lighty lives in Canada, and in New York, she had to pass through New York to get to Canada, right? That was just because that's
Yeah,
one of the border crossings is right on the top of New York State, right? And so
yeah,
like a lot of people you go through the amount of people that I see go through here with like so many different things just because they're going to Canada, insane. Anyway, so she was passing through New York and she's like, "Yo, homie, like, because Kichi and I are close. We know each other for a long time, so she knows where I live and I know where she lives and all that other good stuff." So she was passing through and she saw my town on one of the signs, like one of the exit signs on the one of the main roads, and she was like, "Yo, homie, like I just passed by your town." I was like, "Yo, for real?" She's like, "Yeah." And it was like 10 o'clock at night though. She's like, "I would have stopped, but it's so late." I'm like, "Oh, it's all good, good." So the next time she went, she left earlier, and I was at work, and she's like, "Yo, like." Send me daddy. So I sent her where I worked and she like pulled up and I like the timing was so like impeccable because she got there as soon as I got done with work at Olive
oh,
Garden.
you were getting off, and
Like,
oh
because
man,
she was like, and then Riss was working that same night too, and she's a host, and so she's up at the front. She's like, "Yo, guess who's here?" I literally I was clocking out in the back in the kitchen, and I sprinted to the front of the restaurant and like jumped into her arms and like it was oh, dude, it was so awesome. Like it just was amazing.
I bet that was fantastic.
It was fantastic. Like, um, Kichi and I have known each other for a long time, and we've been homies for a long time. And it's just seeing someone. One first, I'm just like a PSA. I'm taller than Kichi is by a little bit. So just dropping that right there. And like it was just such a awesome feeling. It like felt so surreal that I was meeting, you know, like my best friend. Like, and for the first time, and like my coworker's like, "Who the fuck? Like, why is, you know, Hannah hugging this stranger?" I'm like, "No, this is my homie Kichi." Like, you know, and then we hooked her up with some food, and you know, she went back on the road after like a little bit, but we took our pictures, you know, because picture didn't happen, but
Yeah.
it was awesome because Briss was standing and she was so confused because she didn't know, and I didn't know either until like 20 minutes before, because Ichi was like, "Yo, I'm almost like I'm like 8 minutes away. Are you like at work right now?" I said, "Yeah, I'm at work right now. Like pull up, pull up, pull up." And she was, you know, so I like sent her the address real quick and pulled up, and like she walked into the, you know, the front of the restaurant, and Riss was looking like, she was like, how many? And then she was just like, wait a minute, because she like started like recognizing who Kichi, like that it was Kichi, and she's like, oh my god, Hannah's gonna freak. And I did freak. It was awesome. And then a couple weeks later she went back to Canada, and she got there right as I went into work, so you know, we hooked up with food again and chatted and all that good stuff. So, you know, if you guys have a bunch of online homies, meeting up with them is so amazing. So if you guys are going to the NYSL home CDL event this summer, I am doing my best to get there. Me and Deception will meet. Okay, Riz. True. It is.
I still want to do that.
Deception wants to go to a haunted. What is it again? Deception. Where do you want to go with Riz?
Can't remember what it's called.
It's like a haunted something.
There's one in New York.
It's like a haunted something, abandoned something. I don't know. And I said he wanted me to go too, but you know I don't do that stuff. So, but if you guys are going to the NYSL event this summer, I'm gonna do my best to make it there. So you know, if you guys are there, come say hello.
I'm actually gonna meet up. Now that you said that, I'm actually gonna look it up and send it to Riss. Hold on.
Okay. Because I think she'd be really into that. I feel like Riss would be really into
I don't know where it's called.
No.
I don't know where. I'll know it if I see it, but I just can't remember right now.
Did you save it in our messages or no?
No. I'll know it when I see it though. Wait.
What?
There's Amityville. We could go to that one. That's wild. No, but there's a lot of places, but I mean, apparently New York's pretty haunted.
Yeah, New York is very haunted. It's a very old, like, especially like upstate, like there's a lot of like old buildings. Because it's like, you know, part of the first 13 colonies, so you know, it's been settled for quite a while.
Town knows her history. Let's go.
By the colonizers that we are. Anyway, but yeah, so that's my quick little whatever. You know, it's gonna be, we're gonna can I leak what I texted you about earlier? Kinda.
I mean,
I love you guys. Gotta go to class. All right, Riz, I love you so much.
Oh, I know what it's. Oh, I found it.
You found it? Okay. Can I leak what I texted you earlier a little bit? Not too much, but like a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said earlier in the podcast, I've been listening to a lot of other podcasts, and it just hypes me up about this one, and it just makes me want to like, you know, like dominate. So our goal here in the next few months is to bring on some more guests to the Climb Together podcast. We want to try to keep with our 12 p.m. EST. So if you guys are available, and if you guys, you know, want to come on the podcast, you know, some of our, you know, fellow creators, org members of other orgs that we know, like some of our, you know, fellow creators, if you guys want to make an appearance on the podcast and kind of just, you know, have a little chat, kind of like we did in previous ones, and trying to just, we want to have you on and talk about some stuff, or, you know, talk about you and like how you got to where you are or whatever. Let us know. We've got a couple that
the Climb Together podcast is for.
Yeah, we want to, like, you know, we're trying to climb together, you know what I mean? Arm in arm. So we've got a couple that we're working on. But if you guys are interested and you guys are listening right now and you're, you a streamer of any sort, really, you feel like, you wanna be on the Climb Together podcast, hit us up. DMs are open. And we've had
DMs are always
we've
open.
had 2 official guests so far. We've had like 3 guests total, but 2 like official episode guests.
Yeah.
Oh no, 4 guests. Sorry, I forgot Mr. Burner was on for that little bit of Trovo. So we've had 4 guests, 2 like official full episode guests. So yeah, we've got a couple that we're gonna do, but we wanna see who wants to be on the podcast and whatnot. So hit us up. I gotta stop saying that over and over again. But anyway, do you guys want to hear about my first week at work? First full week at work.
Oh God.
So like I said last week, I'm working again. And let me tell you, it's been interesting. So I've been pretty much like during the week, I pretty much live up at my grandparents' cottage right by where I work. And living alone, kind of nice. I mean, yeah, did I wish Riss was there? Yeah. But like, I make my breakfast. I'm there alone. Like I really don't have anyone like on my back about anything, and I kind of just vibe, and I get back and I, call Riss, and I get ready to go to bed, and I just kind of go to bed when I want to. I don't have to worry about being too loud or, and this, that, and the other. And it's really nice. It is really nice. So when college hits, I'm going to be excited because that's pretty much the same kind of vibe. Except for I don't have a whole house to myself. I only get it for another few days, though, because my cousin is coming back from college, and she also works there, too. So she'll be there. But we get along really nice. I like to say... her name's Marissa, my cousin, and my girlfriend's name's Marissa. They're not the same person. I swear on my dead body they're not the same person. This isn't Alabama, okay?
I didn't know you were dead.
Shut up, Deception. This isn't Alabama. It's 2 different Marissas, but I call my cousin Mar, and my girlfriend, her nickname's Riss. So I just say I
feel like
Mar,
Tone only
Riss.
said that this isn't Alabama because of the way I talk.
Yeah, but like Alabama isn't like Sweet Home Alabama. Like they're famous for that kind of stuff down there in the Alabamas. Anyway, I like to say that I have my Marissas that complete my life, my Mar, and then my Riss, and then I just need my Saw, but like my name's Hannah. Marissa, get it? Ha ha ha.
Ah, dude.
So if I ever meet another Marissa that I become friends with, your nickname's gonna be Saw. That's it. I feel like that just would complete it. And it's really funny though, because my cousin's nickname, her nickname's pretty much always been Mar. Like pretty much for as long as I can remember. And Riss, her nickname when I met her was Riss, so it was just kind of perfect. You know what I mean?
You just need a Marissa who already goes by Saw.
Or I can just call Riss Rissa, which sometimes I do, but some people do. I don't.
Rissa doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
I know it doesn't, but I could, so I would have my complete Marissa. My 2 Marissas. Anyway, that's not the point. But yeah, so if you guys even cared about that, there you go. Most of you probably not, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've been just kind of like, I've been eager, you know what I mean? Like, I've been ready to do some things. I just can't really stream a lot, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I have like a 45-minute drive to work, right? From when I spend the night here at my grandparents, or I spend the night with Riss. So it's like it's actually an hour from my grandparents and 45 minutes from Rissa's house, but so it's a pretty lengthy drive. So I've been kind of like listening to like the Eavesdrop podcast and other podcasts like it on my drive, just to make the drive less monotonous, and I get to learn something on the way. So I've been kind of like just trying to listen and get back into the swing of things. I've missed quite a few episodes, and by quite a few I mean lots of episodes. I listen because it's like I listen to them on the way there, and I listen to them on the way back, and I make quite a few trips each week. So I'm ready to apply some of what I've learned by listening to other podcasts to our podcast and make it and give it the potential that it deserves. Because,
Yeah.
we have a really great message here, and in order for our message to get out there, we kind of have to just, give it the best we got. And first step is getting Deception to put on the new overlays that I sent him many, many months ago.
You gotta teach me.
Yes, I will teach you. If that's what it takes, I will teach you. It's not all that difficult once you get the hang of it.
You want to know something that I can leak that is not pertaining to the podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Modern Warfare 2's DMZ mode, that's the third mode, is going to launch in beta when the game comes out.
Ooh.
So because they believe that the best way that they're going to be able to improve this mode is to get it into the public's hands. So they're just going to launch it in beta. So if bugs are there or something bad happens, they can fix it really fast. And it'll probably be like ranked play from this year. It'll launch in beta, probably be in beta for a little bit, then launch
Okay.
as a full version. But we're gonna get the full version of the mode regardless. It's gonna launch in beta so they can make any changes they need to make as quickly as they can. Um, there's been a few things coming out about Modern Warfare 2, and also about Treyarch's next game. Like a couple days ago, I saw Hope tweet that Treyarch are goated for what they're cooking up, and I'm like, oh god, don't make me excited this early.
I don't know, man. I was kind of like listening to it earlier. Like I said, when I travel now, I listen to the Eavesdrop podcast to get caught back up and stuff. And we want to here, especially we want to see COD succeed. Sorry, we want to see COD succeed. I mean, we've been playing it for many, many years, over a decade at this point. Almost.
I've almost been playing it for a decade.
I've been playing it for a decade. I'm 18 now, and I started playing when I was 5. So it's over a decade for me.
You've been playing it you've been literally playing it longer than a lot of COD players today have been alive.
Yeah, that's the truth. So I mean, I've been playing it for 13 years. So like it's one of those things. It's like, and it's one of those. It's kind of hard to leave it. Like it's kind of like the same thing with swimming. Like I swam for 10 years and I had to leave because I broke my back. Like I really couldn't swim anymore. And I don't want to see the same thing with COD because COD is what got me through that, and a lot of other things. So it's more than just a video
last
game.
week you talked about people getting addicted to it and that they're finally learning that they want to stop, that they can stop because they're not quite addicted to it anymore. But it's like with COD, like the impact that it's had on both of us, it's like it's hard to imagine not playing it for longer than a couple months at a time.
Yeah,
like it's hard to imagine, for example, not buying the new game.
Mm-hmm. And it's
just not playing it.
Like the thing is like a lot of people do just play it because they're addicted to it. Like I play it. I love the game, and I'm addicted to it. You know what I mean? Like it's just, and it gets frustrating, and we keep playing and playing and playing because it's just we're addicted to it's like it's pretty much what addiction is. You get hooked to the high, right? And then you chase the high that you once had, and like the high that we all got from playing Call of Duty. It was so great. You know what I mean? Like we loved the game so much and had such a good time and, made good memories, made friends, long-lasting friends, best friends. Like the amount of stories that I hear, like, yeah, I met this guy randomly in a pub's lobby and he was the best man at my wedding, or, I ended up marrying that guy or a girl that I met in a COD lobby, or, you know what I mean? Like it has like a really big impact on people's lives, and just to kind of see it, go to shambles a little bit is saddening. So, and it's not, we're not saying this out of like, we're not criticizing, like people aren't criticizing because they hate the game. They're criticizing because they love the game, because they want to see the game succeed and continue And
Yeah, often the people that criticize the game the most are the people that
I
love
love
it
the
the
game the
most
most.
and
Yeah.
play it all the time. And it's like some people just don't understand. It's like, why do you talk so bad about it all the time, but you play it all the time? And it's like, just stop playing the game. And it's like, well, we still love the game and we want to see the game succeed. It's just you have to get it through to the developers and through to Activision that we want something better. And I
Yeah.
think that that is finally coming to fruition.
Yes, slowly but surely. I mean, they're taking steps to make the game better. I mean, hopefully, it's an exponential repair, but usually it's not. It's more of like a they fix one thing and more things, pop up on the horizon. So
Well, yeah, it's like it's like when supply drops came out in Advanced Warfare and they got worse in BO3. Everybody was like, "We hate these. We want them to be fixed." And we cried out for so long. It took really bad supply drops in BO4 for them to finally be like, "Yeah, this is not good. We need to get our customers back." And like you said, it was like one thing gets fixed and something else is wrong. The supply drop issue gets fixed. We get a free battle pass. We get free guns. Uh, Now we have terrible skill-based matchmaking. So what's next? They're gonna fix skill-based matchmaking at some point, I feel like, and then something else is gonna happen.
yeah, it's just like because they like to change. They like to change certain things about the game, right? They like to add new things or change things about it instead of fixing the main problem. They think the problem would be fixed with adding something else. But if they just kind of like fixed the problems and not changed it, and just like change the maps and change the
Yeah, it's like,
guns.
why can't they just change one thing and that's it?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing about when they try to balance guns or when they try to make new maps. It's like they will change something that's good, but then they'll bring in a couple other things that are bad because it's some sort of design choice or they think that this is the right way to do it. It's like you've been making like Call of Duty in its modern day form has been a thing for like 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like how is it taking 15 years and we're somehow going backwards?
It's because, well, they fix the things that people don't like, because I understand wanting to do new things to try to, like, engage people better. So it's not just a reskinning of the game like a lot of, like, 2K games are and, like, Madden games are, where it's just, like, a reskin of the game,
Yeah.
but it was just, like, a change of, like, characters, essentially. It's, like, change of players, but
Yeah, like it got to like it's been getting to a point in a lot with a lot of these sports games where it's basically the same game every year, just a roster update.
yeah, like, with the thing of COD, though, you can have, like, a different storyline, um, different skins, like I think different guns, and I feel like they stay with like the war era of it all. But I think it would be really cool if they did like a like post-apocalyptic war, something like that, something, because they're doing Modern Warfare again, and which is fine. I like Modern Warfare was a great game, but they're like taking that game and putting in like the new stuff that they added that isn't good. Like I like the fact that they put a battle pass in instead of um the the crates that they had and
Yeah.
stuff like that, because it's based on playtime and you don't just can't just I mean you can buy it all if you wanted to, but you don't need to, you know,
But
spend.
even then the problem with the battle pass is like 90% of the stuff you're not gonna use.
Yeah, like,
Like you're probably gonna use the last skin, the tier 100.
mhm.
You're gonna use the new guns. You're gonna
Mhm.
use the blueprints of the new guns that they put really far down in the battle pass. And you might really like a couple more of the blueprints of the guns. You might like an emblem or two. But all these like stickers and sprays and stuff that they throw in there, nobody cares. Like that's just some little green dot that you take off
Mhm.
when you press that button every time. Like it's like and that's like I I will not defend supply drops, but I'm saying this. There was consistently a lot better stuff in supply drops, probably because you had to pay for it,
Mhm.
if you didn't want to earn it. But it seemed like almost every time you got a supply drop, unless it was just really, really bad, that you got something useful. Um, but like in the battle pass and like with these bundles that they drop that have guns that you have attachments that nobody uses, so you take all the attachments off and now it just looks like a shell of a gun that
Mhm.
it used to look like. Like it's just like I wish in Modern Warfare 2 that they would add like a spare parts system or something where you you could change the attachments of the guns, but they looked the same as if you had the base blueprint attachments on or something. Like
Yeah, something like that.
maybe that's something for DMZ because because Hope has said that with DMZ like you lose like what you brought in there. If you earn something in there and then you die, you lose it. So, um maybe there's like a bunch of like spare parts for gun blueprints and stuff in there and you have to make sure you keep those on you. But we'll see.
Mhm.
Um
I don't know. I think they're just needing some changes here as far as like cosmetics go, and I don't know. I like the root of the game where like there wasn't blueprints, there was camos, and the camos were good camos. They weren't like shitty,
Yeah, that's the thing
half-ass
about
type things.
camos too, is like there's even in BO4 in their first version of the battle pass, which was pretty good, but it wasn't great. They had camos. And they had those Mastercraft camos that you could put on certain guns, and then they eventually allowed it for every gun. But there's no camos anymore. There's no camos in the battle pass. You can't get camos uh from blueprints. You can't like there are no camo packs anymore. Like why? What is the problem with camos?
One camo that I think was really cool that they did that was a blueprint? It was the unicorn one that they had in MW. You know what I mean? Like that was epic. Like that was a really freaking cool skin. Was it a unicorn? Yeah. Do I love unicorns? Yeah. Did it look awesome? Yeah.
I think the one they did in BO4 was better.
Mm, yeah, you're right. I think it was
They did that
BO4.
one. They did that one for the GKS and BO4, and it was
I
so
think that's the
nice.
one I'm talking about. I don't know if they did one for mine. I don't know, but there
No,
was a unicorn camo.
they had a unicorn one in Modern Warfare, but it wasn't as good.
No, but you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Not just like your, you know, like chrome silver kind of old school looking gun that was just fresh off the shelf. Like, no, we want cool stuff like unicorns and
Well,
rainbows.
and you know what's funny? The funny part is that this World War II game that we've gotten in Vanguard has given us some of the best bundles that we've seen.
Oh,
Because they are like some of those guns, like some of the anime guns, like the STG, like doesn't even look like an STG. It looks like a Valorant gun.
mm-hmm.
And like the new guns that come in the Godzilla and Kong bundles are sick. Like they're like this old World War II game where all the guns are made out of wood. Like they have this game has genuinely brought some of the best bundles that we've seen since the Battle Pass era started.
Yeah, but I want to see those guns like on the battle pass, not just in bundles. You know what I mean? Like, you feel me, bro? Feel me?
Yeah. I mean, I really like the Snoop Dogg bundle.
Oh yeah, I think
I
everyone loved
had
the
to
Snoop
cop
bundle.
that. That thing
Everyone
is
liked
so
the Snoop
nice. I
bundle.
love the Snoop Dogg bundle.
Okay, not to change topic quickly, but I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw something really quick. Scump just tweeted, super tough situation. Well, he just tweeted this like 20 minutes ago. Super tough situation, but really hoping to make the best of it. Wishing my brother a speedy recovery at Italy. Welcome Prolute B to the starting roster until injury is healed.
All
So
right, Prolude's here. Let's go then.
Prolute is taking general spot on the starting roster for Optic Texas. So we'll see how it goes. Illy's still out.
Well,
How long he'll be out, I don't know.
he's taking Illy's spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's just General was there for a bit.
General was the sub, and now they realize that they kind of have to find something a little bit more permanent.
The weird thing about the Pro-Am is Illy actually played the first match on Friday, and he actually did really well stats-wise, but his thumb was hurting too much, so he didn't play the rest of the weekend.
So, yeah, they realize that this is a little bit more serious than anticipated, so they have found someone a little bit more permanent to take the spot.
I mean, like, I mean, leave it to the Twitter doctors, but there are people that have been kind of looking it up and doing research on what's wrong with Illy, and they've said that for the most part it will be better in like 1 to 2 weeks, but we also have to keep in mind that he can't just straight up sub in for like the matches. Like he's got to like practice and make sure he's going to be okay to play matches. He's got to get kind of back into the groove of things, and that might take a little bit. But I hope that they can make the best of it through the major qualifiers and that they can get a winner's bracket spot for the major, because that would be really nice.
Yeah. Alrighty. I think that'll call it for today. I mean, you know, like Monarch comes out and Monarch's out, so looks like we have something to play. Personally, I have to go weed whack the lawn because I'm an adult now. So, yay me. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the podcast. If you guys are listening thereafter, make sure you guys tune in live while we record this episode every Wednesday at 12 p.m. EST over on Twitch, on our respective channels. Yeah, so we will see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to follow and subscribe and like the podcast, whichever one it may be on any of the platforms that is available on. And this is the 25th episode. We're a quarter of the way to 100. Who thought we would ever get here? You know what I mean? Like, who thought we would ever get to 25? Or, you know, it's gone by pretty quickly, and I'm vibing with it. But anyway, we will see you guys next time. Peace.